This is Anaïs from Domhain, and you're listening to the Dan Shan Show.
So I am joined by Nathan, Andy, and is it an how do I, is it an anise? I always get this name wrong because I know there's a fragrance, isn't there?
It's Anaïs.
An
You pronounce all the letters, Anaïs.
anise. Well, I'm nearly there. Are you French?
Yes, that's right.
Okay, cool. That's right. From Northern Ireland outfit Domain. How you doing, guys, tonight?
Well, yeah, very good. And yourself?
Very well. Thanks for asking. Thanks for asking. Now you're all in Northern Ireland. You go quite close together. Anise, what brought you to Northern Ireland in the first place? How long have you been in Northern Ireland for?
Okay, I've been in Ireland since like 2008. But I was living in Dublin at first, and I slowly moved up north, and now I'm settled here. And yeah, that's where the band is. We've known each other for quite a long while now.
Yeah, we'll get into the history of that. I've got some questions about that. How's the festive vibe in Northern Ireland right now? Are we getting Christmassy now? Or do we care? I mean, what's the vibe? I mean, to me, I can't actually believe it's the whatever mid December already, and it's like, what's going on? You know what I mean?
Well, it's creeped up on me pretty fast. I'm not prepared for it whatsoever.
No, exactly. What about you two? You ready for it? But I can see Nate's got some Christmas lights behind her.
I
Is
do.
this all year round lights?
That one in particular, yes, it's all year, but I do have to have the Christmas bang on because I have children. I have two little boys, so I have to be on time with my Christmas.
Of course, absolutely, absolutely. So let's get into it. You've just released your new single, "My Tomb Beneath the Tide," a week or so ago on the 2nd of December, I believe. How's that being received by everyone? It's an awesome track. It's what drew me to you in the first place, and it's really got me. It's very atmospheric. I love it. How's the response been for you guys?
I think it's been very positive overall. We have kind of gained a bit of a fan base who we've probably left them waiting quite a long time for some new music. I think that comes down to the fact that our songs are so long.
We'll get into that as well. I've got some questions about that one. Carry on.
We released our first record a couple of years ago, and there was only 3 tracks on it. And then we released another single, so we've only really had 4 songs out. And
but that's 3 tracks. But for most people, like about a thrash band, that would be a whole album.
Well, exactly.
Like 9 tracks.
I think it just comes down to, people have listened to the stuff and they kind of keep listening to it, and you can only do that for so long. So there has been a little bit of pressure to get something out, and it's been a good thing. It has been received quite well overall, as far as I'm aware.
Do you have a look and see what people are saying on YouTube and things like that? Because obviously the video is incredible. It's an incredible piece of film. The video is in itself. It's pretty cinematic, amazing. Do you look at comments underneath and see what people are saying about stuff?
I have.
Yeah,
I've checked
you
it
can't
a
help
couple
it.
times, yeah, just to see what the response is. It seems pretty good. I haven't seen any trolls, which is a good sign. Nobody seems to be quite responsive of it, yeah.
That's good. That's good. Now you've released singles and EPs up to now. It could be an album, but it looks like an EP if you look at 3 tracks, whatever. Is this track part of a bigger picture? Is this a standalone, or are we expecting an album's worth? Shall we say a domain's worth of albums, or 4 or 5 tracks?
Yeah, that one is part of the album, which will be 5 tracks. Am I
Okay.
right?
I think
Yeah.
so, yeah.
Yeah.
What did we do again? Yeah, so that one will be part of it, and it's the one we are the most proud of,
Yeah. Cool.
and the one that deserved this music video. So a lot of work.
So how did the music video come around? Did you have the concept for that, or did you put it in someone's hands?
That was a big work. We started talking about it as we were recording in the studio, and the guys were immediately thinking about giving it a link with the tides, and basically just keeping the story with what it is and what the album concept is. And I have made this music video with like a lot of work, just, the whole storyboarding, finding the locations, finding the cast, and directing the thing on the day, which was very difficult because we had horrible weather
I was going to
when
say it must have been cold, right?
oh, it was really cold. It was September, only September, but it was already really cold.
Hmm.
And those two actresses that you can see in the video are freezing.
Yeah, I
They are
bet.
freezing.
I hope you looked out. I hope you gave them a couple of Guinnesses afterwards to keep them warm.
Yeah, they had Guinness. I don't know. I I tried my best to give everything, all the hot food and hot drinks
Yeah.
to afterwards, but like they actually went into the seawater.
Yeah.
They were amazing.
That's what they do for their art. Well, you just touched upon it, but can you explain what you like to write your tracks about, what the themes are behind it, and what you do like to, talk about in your music?
I don't know. I mean, I suppose, in our short history, we've always had a bit of a connection to the natural world and the communication between it and ourselves, as in the humans. Um, there's always a little bit of that, I think, so far in our music. Um, I'm not sure entirely that it's forefront, but it always seems to kind of come into it at some point or other. I think whenever I'm writing, I'm kind of a bit I'm a bit of a natural pessimist, so I read a lot of negative kind of lyrics,
Hmm.
usually based on um recently kind of based out of depression and kind of darker thoughts, and then trying to link that into the natural world as well.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know what other lyric writers. What do you think, Anais?
Yeah, I agree with that part. There is a lot of darkness and like bringing your own darkness to it. But yes, there is um, a lot about the beauty of nature, a lot about someone made recently an amazing review of our album and our music video, and everything he says, so I feel like almost repeating everything they said, but like they mentioned the beauty of decay, going back to nature. I wish I could remember. I need to find the name of this person because they got it exactly and literally better than us. So yeah, lyrics are about that, the darkness, the beauty of
Mm.
darkness, the beauty of death, the beauty of going back to nature through death, even if as human we are very disconnected from it until this moment we get back, we become dust again.
Hmm.
It's a bit about that.
Yeah. Now, we've touched upon it. You look guys love a long track, right? Epic tracks. Is it tough crafting and creating tracks of this length, or is it your go-to length of track? You don't know when to stop. You just want to keep it going. You've got a lot to do in that effort. You think, right, or do you get to the point now you go, right, guys, we've got to wrap this up? How far does it go?
I'd be very happy writing a song that was 3.5 minutes, if it makes sense.
It would
But
help.
every
It would
time,
help radio guys. I'm telling you that.
yeah, I know it would help us as well, I imagine, with that. But it's just the way it happens. You can't. I mean, you could rush a song. You could go, "Oh, we've
Of course.
already done this section," or but yeah, if it makes sense as a song, it makes sense. And if it ends up being, 10 minutes long, and you kind of can't really figure out a way to make it shorter, if it makes sense, it makes sense. I don't think
Mm,
you could really rush the writing process or
I get
or
that.
interfere with it too much. You just kind of have to follow the flow.
Nathan, what do you think to that? What do you think to the element of writing tracks of this length? Would you prefer a shorter versions of these tracks, or are you happy to just be like, as expressive as you can?
Yeah, I prefer long, drawn out. I'm big into the atmosphere, so
Yeah.
I don't mind it if something takes a crazy amount of time. before it starts to wind down. I like to sort of exist in that moment for as long as I can.
Yeah, nice. Now, your music, I feel it's huge crossovers, even though heavy and with all these monikers, do you feel like a crossover is happening with you guys, on so many metal people and non-metal people tapping into your music as well? Do you find that? Are you finding those people at your shows, or do you see the comments of people? How do you find out if that is a thing?
I've noticed that at festival shows, if we are what we are, whatever that is. But if we're playing at maybe like a black metal show, and
Mm.
you know the crowd, you know them by their t-shirts usually.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm usually one of them,
Mm.
so that's not a bad thing. But you can see like what you expect people to be. You can kind of see. I've noticed it from performing on stage. You kind of look at people and you can kind of see um their state kind of shift a little bit, and they become a
Really?
little bit more. Yeah, I've noticed that with a lot of people, they kind of just settle,
Mm.
maybe more than they were expecting to. Usually, those shows, people don't really know who we are. We're
Right.
not headline act or whatever at a festival show, so you do get to surprise a few people. Regarding like non-heavy music fans, I definitely want to get in front of them a little bit more, but it's so difficult. I think
Yeah.
there's really
How they're going to find you? You know what I mean?
well, that's it. Promoters seem to paint anybody who has a heavy distorted guitar with, oh, they must be a heavy band.
Mm.
They must not play in front of certain types of
Yeah,
people.
yeah, yeah.
It's kind of, I feel a little bit, it's quite difficult to get in front of an alternative audience.
Hmm.
However, I do believe only through like friends and family who aren't metalheads, really, they seem to have a connection with this music more than I expected them to at the start.
Sure. Anyone else?
Yeah, I think personally, I don't think it's the guitars. I think it's the screaming.
Oh yeah, I forgot about
That's the
that.
line. I think it's the line that a lot of people are not willing to move
Cross.
past.
Yeah, I get that.
So it's your fault, Andy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, talking about fans, how do you imagine someone listening to your music? Maybe a glass of wine in front of a fire, walking through the woods. Do you ever write with the listener in mind? And do you ever think, oh, I hope that they would listen to our tracks in their entirety by just being, in a place of comfort or something, or obviously not, you're not a thrash metal band, so you're not going to be in a gym or death metal, but something more atmospheric. Did it cross your mind?
Not really the situation, the surrounding for them, uh, but we've had a few people telling us how our music helped them
Mm,
with their personal life, their personal troubles, and that's the most, the biggest compliment you could ever
absolutely.
get. And
Yeah.
I hope we manage to do this again. Doesn't really matter if you're just sitting at your desk and looking greasy hair and all of that, and just you know,
That's amazing. So people are messaging you saying your music's helped them. That's so
yeah,
cool. That's
yeah,
really
yeah.
cool. That must be pretty special, right?
That's huge. Yeah.
Yeah. So how is talking about going, we're going to talk about the history in a minute, but how is the band evolving and how are you evolving as musicians and band members through the releases and the years? Obviously, we're none of us are getting any older, any younger. We're all getting older. We're all getting more experience in what we're doing. How are you evolving in the band and as people, as musicians?
I think all of us have been out of our depth the last few years, just with experimenting different things. I mean, all three of us here are experimenting with different instruments over the last few years. We've all been in different bands, different projects,
Hmm.
and we seem to be. I don't know if mellowing would be the right word, but sure. Andy's clean vocals have come out with this project, and Ace is on the cello now. I'm practicing violin, so
Amazing.
we're all doing things that we wouldn't have done maybe
Mm.
5, 6 years ago.
Is that pushing each other? Is that because you want to? Because obviously there's so many plugins now. You can make things very easy for yourself. Or do you just want to keep pushing yourselves to evolve and become better?
I
It's
think
definitely
so.
pushing me. I mean, I've been playing the guitar for about 20 years now. Um, Longer, shouldn't have counted. But with the violin, I want to. I want to implement it. I want to use it. So it's forcing me to learn and become a better player.
Hmm.
Yeah, except with the cello, obviously, I've been playing drums since
Yeah,
I'm,
drums to cello. I can see guitar to violin, but drums to cello is like chalk and
I
cheese.
know. I know. And in fairness, I didn't know I was going to play cello. I just got a cello as a present for Christmas once, and I decided I wanted to. Um, it's extremely difficult. It's nothing to do with drums,
Mhm.
but I learned so much about music in general from this instrument. So, yeah, it's pushing. Like, I wish I had a second life to
Yeah.
be able to
Pursue.
start moving.
Do you think, is there any other instruments you want to try in this lifetime? Is there anything else you want to push?
Well,
All of
I
them.
I recently bought a synthesizer and I've had zero time to really play it, but it is kind of my goal to bring it on the stage at some point, even if it's
Yeah,
just for a few droning moments or something.
it's funny. That's funny. So the history. Tell me how you guys, in a nutshell, not War and Peace, but just tell me how you got together as a band. You know, obviously, and tell me about the scene in Northern Ireland in general. Is that how you met? How long has it been together? Tell me a bit more about the background.
Well, we've all have a history in other bands, and sort of through that we've ended up, playing on the same bills, supporting each other, even before we knew each other. I think that's probably how we have met, just over the years, rubbing shoulders, and then kind of whenever Bryn, who's no longer in the band, I think he contacted you, Anais, a few years ago about starting a project. It was maybe around the
I
time
contacted him.
you
All right.
contacted
Give me
him.
that back.
Yeah, yeah, it's all yours. Sorry. And yeah, it was around COVID time whenever they contacted me. I was working over in England, and I was in a death metal band for years, and it was kind of just coming to a natural end. And I was pretty much just saying yes to everything. So when I was asked to, would I be interested in doing something that nobody really knew what it was yet? We just want to try something a bit new and experimental. I was like, yeah, go for it.
Mm,
Um, it's brought a lot out of me as a musician. I mean, I'm a pretty standard bass player. And I was a decent vocalist, screaming and yelling and stuff like that. But I've never ever put my voice to clean music before this band, and
mm,
I've, I've kind of surprised myself. I really enjoy it now. Um, yeah, the scene here as well. The scene, it sort of ebbs and flows, but we've done quite well ourselves. We surprised ourselves recently. We played a show, and it was really really terrible weather just in our hometown, and we got a really good turnout right in the middle of like loads of gigs happening. I think Rotten Christ were playing.
mm,
There was like tons of bands playing. We did a really good turnout. So there seems to be enough people to fill the venues quite often.
mm.
I don't know about you guys, but I think the scene's growing here again.
I hope.
I hope so.
Yeah, it's been weird. Like when I moved to Dublin, the scene was huge. Like we were all going out. There was a venue called The Pint in Dublin where everybody was going every weekend. There was gigs all the time. And this venue kind of closed their doors to the metalheads. And
Mm,
then, I don't know, it started to just go down and down and prices going up all over
mm,
town. And I imagine the same thing happened in Belfast. In Belfast, it's like, yeah, there are a lot of people who will only go when the big bands are here, the metalheads are here, but they won't come to check local bands.
right.
There is just, there is a community that will, and it's always kind of the same people. And they're amazing people. They support everyone, and at least there is that exists. And so, yeah, you've played the Limelight yourself, so
Yeah. Yeah.
you've met those people.
Yeah. Then I think in Dublin it was the O2 in Dublin. The
The
big
what?
the O2 in Dublin.
Oh my gosh.
Many years ago. Many years ago.
Ah,
Going back to your influences. What got you to where? Obviously, Andy, bit of death metal you mentioned. I don't know about you two. Where's your where do you come from? You know, musically to get you to where you are now, playing what you're doing.
I was in a black metal project for a number of years. That's sort of crossed over into what we're doing now. Uh, all the fast guitarists are still there, big chunky chords, and dabbled with a doom band as well at the same time as that.
Mm-hmm.
But
some
I think
bands, drop some bands, give us some, sprinkle some bands in there so we can get a taste of where you're coming from.
well, biggest influences for me, going back to teenager years, you're talking the likes of Strappy Young Lad, Devin Townsend's solo work has always been a massive influence for me.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And then the real cheesy kind of black metal bands like Emperor and Cradle of Filth and all that kind of
Yeah,
nonsense.
yeah, yeah. What about you two?
Um, I guess if like the side influences that maybe have influenced me in this band, I think My Dying Bride has been a huge influence in recent years. Obviously, bands like Alcest and a lot of
Yeah.
those post-black bands really
Mm.
are amazing. But I'm being influenced more and more by Irish music. There's a band who I don't even know how I never heard of them until last year. There's a band from the 70s called the Bothy Band, and it's just traditional Irish music, but done incredibly well. And I just can't turn it off. It's
Love that.
really inspiring me at the moment.
Yeah. Nice.
No, that's good to know. I was in for 10 years I was in a folk metal band in Dublin, so we were listening to a lot of folk music, just not folk metal.
Yeah.
But other than that, I'm a big fan of Opeth since early days. And in terms of influence, I would also put Dead Can Dance a lot, a million times. Probably Shape of Despair and this kind of like doomy,
Mm.
general doom kind of thing. I love like big atmosphere, big growls, but big clean singing and some other
Yeah,
instruments,
yeah, yeah. Get
cello,
it.
flute, and all those.
Yeah, I've always just you mentioned Shape of Despair. I've been off and on listening to like Draconian as well. I think that
Mm.
I've heard it cited as like Beauty and the Beast
Mm.
kind of metal,
Mhm.
the growling man and the beautiful
Yeah.
singing woman. I think we bring a little bit of that into our stuff as well with the dual
Yeah. There
singers.
you go. There you
So
go.
there's a
By the
little bit of
way,
that too.
hi LK, love you.
Let's talk about shows. Show us how prolific are you doing shows? Obviously, shows must be not difficult, but difficult if you all these different instruments, different vocals, long tracks to play live. Obviously, if you've only got a 30-minute set, you have to be a bit more selective. How prolific are you doing your shows? Do you do a lot of shows?
Wish we did more. Wish we did more. Like obviously we all have our
Work and stuff. Yeah.
adult life
Yeah.
to deal with.
Adult life.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
stuff. But still, we wish we could do more gigs. We would not be able to do loads of tours during the years, but
Mm.
we love gigging. We do anyway. And it has been a big improvement with this band too. We all used to just go on stage, plug, and hope for the best, and sometimes the sound would be terrible. But with this band, it's not possible to go like that because we need to hear our voices to sing in harmony,
Hmm.
and we have
Hmm.
backing tracks. So we have to play to a click
Hmm.
in order to be in time with our backing track.
Hmm.
And all those elements together meant a huge change technically. So now we have our in-ears
Hmm.
and we had to invest in it. We didn't realize how much we had to invest in it for it to work.
Hmm.
So that's another side of things that had to be improved dramatically since when we started. And so it's a huge thing to go to a gig. We have all this gear
Sure.
that we have to get.
So
So we have gigs coming up, but we would like more.
more. Nathan, what's a domain show like?
Um, Atmospheric and intense at the same time. I think. Um, I feel anyway, and there are all these heavy moments, which I live on my go to. So
Mm.
I think that's pretty much it. You've got a couple of probably confused metalheads in the crowd.
Yeah, yeah,
Knowing
yeah, yeah, yeah.
what to do. But that's what it's all about. It's all about emotion and atmosphere.
Sure. Now, here's a controversial question. What do you prefer? Because I don't know if you more prefer crafting your music or performing your music. What do you prefer, studio or stage? Why do you do this?
It's a hard one. I think I prefer performing it. Although there's so much stress, not on stage. Like on stage, I can fly. It's I feel amazing on stage, even if it's a real small show or whatever. I think just being able to perform, especially to sing, just to belt and to scream, it's it's unlike anything else. But the preparation is
Mm.
so difficult, just making sure that we're on point. I think we're very overcritical of ourselves because even though, we're pretty established now, we know what we're doing, we're all very good at it, but I think just because it still feels quite fresh that we really need to make sure that we're doing it really good
Yeah.
and not let ourselves down. So there's a lot of it always comes together in the end, but I find personally it can be quite stressful getting prepared for a gig, but it always feels worth it when you do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I prefer performing than writing for sure.
Two more answers. Come on, you guys. What do you think?
What do you think, Nathan?
Yeah, I agree. We're hypercritical of our music and what we do. Um, pretty pretty perfectionist about it. So we talk quite a lot about different pieces, um, about what needs to be changed, what needs to stick, and then the performances as well. Like I don't think we like hyper analyze what we do, but like I'll always remember, okay, that didn't go right, so I need to know that for the next time.
Mm-hmm. It's where you
Yeah.
learn on stage, right, Anise?
Um, yeah, well, obviously, I love being on stage too, and but I just love even just rehearsing with the band and do tracks that we know and that you can just let yourself go. But I also really love the studio. Not some, well, no, I love writing, although we don't write as a jam, we don't just get in a
Mm-hmm.
room and it comes there. We have to write bits at home. So it's fun, but it's different. Whereas where we get to the studio and we get the proper sound and everything starts to sound real, I find that incredible.
Mm.
Some moments in the studio with Chris Fielding, who recorded us twice now. Um, Hearing the vocal harmonies coming together, I find that
Yeah.
amazing.
Building on it. Awesome.
Yeah.
Now, guys, I'm going to
Right.
switch. I'm going to switch it up a bit. I've got some fun questions now. Are you ready for some like just random questions that we can get your characters out? Is that good?
Uh,
And I want quick fire. I don't want you to think too heavily on these. All right. So just see what comes to your head. Okay. What's one thing everyone should try at least once? Shout them out.
we should not say drugs then.
Say what you like. Say what you like. But you've said it now. So Nathan,
Oh.
I don't know, no idea.
Andy.
Sounds boring, but a career change.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. If you could know the truth to one question, what would the question be? It's getting deep
Go
now.
again, sorry.
If you could know the truth to one question, what would the question be?
What's the next lotto number?
Oh yeah, I like it. Yeah, that's definitely one. Nathan,
Dumped here. That's
Andy.
annoying.
Uh, What does it take to play Hellfest?
Okay, this is really fun, right? If you could choose one song to play every time you walk into a room for the rest of your life, what track would it be and why? One track, one riff, one part of a track. Don't overthink it.
The theme tune for Stone Cold Steve Austin.
There you go. There's one. Nathan?
I choose the Jurassic Park theme tune.
Classic. This is good. This is good. And it's
Just yeah, something like that. That's like really. Does it have to be a song, or can it be
be
like
what
a
you
bunch
like, a
of people
tune, just anything.
clapping
Yeah,
and going
yeah,
like,
yeah.
yeah,
Whatever you like.
yeah, a big crowd going like,
Noise. Okay, just
yeah.
a sound bite. I like it. Right. Okay. Unpopular musical opinions. What do you have? Everyone's got an unpopular musical opinion. I've got tons, but I'm not going to share them. I've shared them many times. Your
I
turn to
hate
share.
Catatonia.
You hate Catatonia.
I hate Catatonia,
Fair
and
enough.
yeah, and I don't like Anathema either.
Okay.
Oh, oh.
Nathan, come
Shame.
on. What have you got?
Oh God, I gotta get blasted for this one.
Exactly. Yeah, this is what I want.
I don't like Opeth. I'm so sorry.
Oh, Nathan's well pissed off with you, mate. He doesn't like that. I
The
don't want to
band's
cause
gonna
I don't want to cause internal band ruptures, but that's not what I'm here for. But Andy, your
late.
turn.
Oh man, you're going to break up this band. I don't believe it. Unpopular musical opinions. Um, I can't really think of many at the moment. I liked Sleep Token for their first album, and since then I absolutely hate them. Maybe that's
Yeah,
popular. Maybe
I
that's
think
unpopular,
I
but
think Metal Hammer or some big said it's like Caramel's the #1 song of the year or the best song of the year, and I don't really know them that well. I checked it out like last week, and I was like, what? I just can't get it. I'm sorry, I can't get into
yeah.
it. Can't get it. I mean, I don't know. I'm shoot me, whatever, but I just can't get into it. Okay, with that in mind, because I know that people would answer that to this question. Who do you think is the new legacy band? Who are we going to be watching in 10, 15 years time when all the other bands have long gone? Who we're going to
Oh,
be seeing on stage? I think Opeth could be one, so that's there.
I think
Oh,
Opeth
oh,
already are one.
Yeah, they probably are, but they could still be there. But
Yeah.
whatever. Who else? Who else have we got?
Wow. That's
a
that's
young band. Um,
Anyone that comes to mind? Anyone that like?
I think Spirit Box is like
Yeah,
not
yeah,
that I'm a big fan,
yeah.
but I
I
think
know what you
they're
mean.
like
Yeah, I know what you
growing and
mean.
growing, and Brutus also.
Same with someone like Ghost or something like that. I mean, not that
Mm.
again, huge fan, but
I think as far as maybe a legacy band, I think Gojira have hit that top tier status.
huge.
Um, yeah, and unless they decide to pull the plug themselves, I think
Exactly.
they're a legacy band for the next 10, 15 years for sure.
Yeah, yeah. Nathan, anything?
Not really sure. Just agree with that. There's nothing that really stands out, I don't think.
Sure. Okay.
Rowan?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Bucket list. What do you want to do? We're coming to the end of this now. So, what do you want to achieve with Domain? Where do you want to get to? What will you get to where you'll say, yeah, that was really cool. We've done it with that band. We're there. What will it be? I think you probably mentioned Hellfest, Andy, which is probably going to be on your list somewhere.
Yeah, for sure. Um, I'd be stealing Anais' thunder here a little bit, but I think Roadburn would be really cool. But
Hmm.
I would love, I'm completely obsessed with Amon Ra. I think I would love to be on a bill with them.
Hmm. Okay.
It'd be really cool.
Interesting. Yeah. Nathan?
Couple of extra festivals, more shows would be good.
Yeah.
We played Fortress a couple of years ago. I'd love to go back and be on the main stage.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah, everything they said.
All these things.
Roadburn is my dream, and like any festival like Fortress was amazing. Yeah, we would love them, like Dunk Festival, and yeah, all of them.
Cool. Okay. Last question. What's the most used emoji in your phone?
At the
Uh,
moment, it's the poop one because whenever I put my dogs out in the morning, I send my wife a message
He's done it. They've done it.
who's done it. Yeah.
Yeah, brilliant. Yeah, that's a quick message. What do you think, you guys? Yeah, everyone has to check their phone when I ask this question.
Mine is the
yeah.
heart. I thought it was the laughing one, but it's the heart.
Oh, is it a black heart or a red heart?
It's a red heart, although it used to be the black one. But no,
Yeah,
that's
good.
red. I'm very boring.
Nathan?
Mine's the sort of cringing emoji, with the teeth out.
Oh, that. Yeah.
That might be
Classic. I use that a lot. Well, listen, guys, thanks so much for joining me. Good luck for 2026. I'm keeping my eye on you, playing your tracks when I can. Short, I'll just play the whole thing. Don't worry about it. I'll play all the tracks. So good luck with 26, and I appreciate you joining me.
Thank you so much.